Happy birthday to me. Today is my 39th birthday. And I'm not saying that for self-promotion. I want everyone to wish me happy birthday because I don't want to say an introvert, but I like to be by myself. I don't need people to celebrate me. We all like encouragement. But pro tip, never date anyone who celebrates their birthday for a whole month. People who say like, oh, it's my birthday month, they're self-absorbed, and it's all about them. It's like the Bronx Tale when you give the girl the test, and will she open the door for you, or will she just like look ahead? Uh, Keeping the right people around you is important. And as I hit 39, I certainly don't want to be around self-absorbed, self-promoting people. But beyond that, in all seriousness, I am thankful for my health. That's number one, as I'm 39, still in good health, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful to be in Florida now full time. I'm thankful that I do have a remote job, that I can live a nomadic life. And I want to share in this video the two things that are my most active and urgent goals that I look forward to trying to accomplish at the age of 39, and what my plans and what my thoughts are on my birthday. Because I think that's what the value of a birthday is. You are celebrating and accepting the fact that you got another year older. You are closer to death. The average human life expectancy is 80 years old. You should take 80 and minus it, whatever age you are. So like me, I would minus 80. I would take 80, I would minus 39. So the remaining time is I approximately have 41 years left on this earth. That's average. I could die in the next 5 minutes. Hopefully I don't, but you should always be mindful that time passes and you'll never be as young as you are right now. That being said, what are my goals and what are my plans and what are my thoughts? Well, my goals are two-part really. One is continue to build my financial freedom through sources of revenue that are self-generating, whether that's YouTube or whether that's investments, and then having things which I experimented this year, like if I ever lost my job, such as DoorDash, to supplement that. But my main goal is to really be financially free so I can retire early. Now, I have a main job that I work with a corporation, which I have for about 10 years, and I will continue to keep that and be thankful for that because it allows me to work from anywhere. And living in America, you have to pay for health insurance. You have to have some type of retirement. So I don't take that for granted. And I am in my prime working years. I'm at like the peak. In your 40s and even into your 50s are your prime working years. In your 20s and your 30s, you're kind of building up a career resume. Even if you have good schooling, you have to have actual experience in the workforce. So when you get into your 40s and 50s, you should have some type of educational background. You should have some type of work experience. And now you leverage it and you are at the peak of your career for most people. And so those are your prime working years. So I don't want to just throw that away. But at the same time, part of me downsizing my life and living simple is that if God forbid something did happen with my job, I don't have to necessarily go back to doing that. I can do different things. And maybe I could eventually, which my goal is to be able to be self-sufficient in supporting myself. Again, whether it's through things like YouTube or investments. Investments would probably be number one. I mean, what does that entail? That would entail probably some type of stock brokerage account, but low risk. As far as a proportion of my money allocated to that would be a lower percentage than just saving or something else, because I don't want to take high risk. I don't want to sacrifice so much living this nomadic life, even though for me it's not that much sacrifice. It's really a lot of reward. There are sacrifice, but I don't want to over allocate my risk pool, and then you can't count on investments, especially the more risky they are. You could lose money, and I have lost money. At this time in my life, I've probably lost more money in investments that I've made. So I would like to have a percentage of my money that I earn in some type of risky, low risk as far as allocation, but a level of some type of brokerage account to make some type of money. YouTube revenue, continue to grow the channel as a supplemental. I would never try to count on YouTube as my full-time thing, and I don't think you ever should too, because it's just icing on the cake. I mean, if some people make it their full-time thing, and you can, I'm not mad at anyone. But I think you get in a dangerous position when you try to do that. I think it's a creative supplemental type income for most people. And I did experiment with DoorDash. I mean, it's a $10, $15 hour job with no health benefits, and you are driving a lot. That's a lot of risk. But I have it in my back pocket as a resource to create another stream of revenue, to, again, create different streams of revenue that I don't have to take high risk in one specific area, but yet I could still be self-generating, and I don't have to work a job I'm not inspired with if I wanted to do something different in the future. So I think that threefold approach of what it looks like for me to continue to gain financial independence. Right now, it's working the full-time job, but the three things would be, continue to save, put some in some type of brokerage account, put some energy and time into uploading daily and growing my YouTube channel. And in my back pocket is a DoorDash or some type of supplemental gig economy where you can work on your terms, your hours, and there's a lot of flexibility. And I embrace flexibility, which provides independence. But everything is work, everything is sacrifice. No one's just giving you money. But I feel that's one of my major goals. So I can continue to live life more on my terms. That's part of me downsizing my life, living simple. Those of you who watch this journey, is I want to live a life with a lot of it on my terms and controlling my time and my resources, because that inspires me. And I think that inspires most people. And if you work for it and you earn it and you don't manipulate people, I think you should go for it. Now, the other part of my plans, thoughts, and goals would be a home base. As I continue on this journey, I tend to lean less and less towards a home base because I don't like the entanglement, I don't like the commitment, and I don't like the lack of flexibility I give up. In one sense, I could see myself getting some type of small RV or some type of van conversion that has hookups so that, if I really wanted to squat in a place, I'll just go to a RV park or state or county park and just go to those hookups. Right now I can go to state and county parks, but I'm a tent camper and I can run an extension cord and I get a fan in my car, but I really can't get an air conditioning unit. So that would be the only kind of thing that I would like to do. And the reason I rather do RV, van camper, or even see if I could put an air conditioning in here at some point, is because I just like the non-commitment. It's a depreciating asset to have a vehicle and to live in it, but it gives you a lot of flexibility. And if you keep it at a low expense ratio to your income or whatever, it could be justifiable because you're using it as transportation, which gets you money, and you're using it as a place of dwelling. I just don't have kids. I don't want kids. The only downside with me, unless I would get a full-blown RV, is I'd probably never get my mom down to Florida unless I just rent. But I'm tend to lean I'd rather just rent a place, a small little place, rather than commit to land. There's something that is just not sitting well with me about committing long-term to a piece of property. I just kind of don't want to get entangled. Now, I have to be conscious of how much money am I going to spend in rent or campground fees, because eventually if I'm spending more in that versus owning, it doesn't make sense. But I'm looking at the numbers and I'm not spending more on campground fees than I would if I had a house, especially now, just being in my car, living by myself. Even if I go to campgrounds for a couple days out of the week, it's still not even close because I supplement it with free boondocking. So it definitely doesn't make financial sense to buy a home base. It just doesn't. And I'm still relatively young. I'm 39 today as I make this. So I would have to get into my late 50s, 60s, 70s before I really think I would need something like that. So I think financial independence is above a home base, because the more financial independence you have, the more flexibility you have. If you got sick, if something happened, you could always easily get into a rental or buy something at that point, because your financial independence drives the fact of if you can get a home base or not. So my plans and my thoughts are to continue to grow my financial independence. A home base is not looking like buying a piece of land at this time. It's looking more towards continue doing what I am doing. My current system isn't bad, but to get my mom down here, I don't know if I would look at an RV, and I don't know if I would look at renting a property or maybe even going back to buying a property. I don't know, but the idea of getting my mom down to Florida is a little bit different than the reality. The reality is all my mom's doctors are up north. The reality is she's still entangled with a sibling, and I don't know if she would just break ties and come down here full time. The reality is, she's not going to be at the beach and stuff. I mean, she's still going to be indoors most of the time because she's elderly and she doesn't have full independence. So, I just have to think about the idea versus the reality and what's really practical. But at some point, I do have to make a decision with that, possibly. Those are just my thoughts and my ramble on where I'm at 39. Again, I'm thankful. Again, I feel blessed to be where I'm at. Did a lot of hard work to reposition my life, to live simple, to live life more on my terms, to be down in Florida, to be in an environment that inspires me, obtaining a job, which I'm thankful for my job now. That's why I'm not quick to make any, I'm just steady as she goes, because as long as my job is healthy and positive, as long as I can work from anywhere, then I'm pretty much going to ride that out. But I also am going to continue to position myself for the future, because when things are going good, that's when it's time to prepare for when maybe things aren't. So that way you don't get caught in a desperate situation, which I've been in both. I've been in a desperate situation, and I've been in a place where, I proactively made some changes so that if something happens, I'm pretty much goodly or well set up. So those are my thoughts. I mean, that's where I'm at 39. And that's how I feel. And I have made a lot of progress in the past couple years, in the past year. Again, being full-time in Florida, living pretty much my dream, pretty close to full financial, pretty close to where I want to be. The two goals are financial independence and either a home base or RV. And that second goal right now is just steady as she goes, living in my car, because I don't have much lack. I would like, probably air conditioning in the height of the summer and a little bit of amenities there, but I'm not willing to trade it off for the entanglement of a home base yet, or the burden and the entanglement of an RV yet. So I'm evaluating that. And that's where things are, and that's what I wanted to share in this video, all right? Peace and love. Thank you for all the positive vibes.